Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make another skin statue. This time, it's going to be Black Widow out of the Avengers. I'm starting things off easy since I haven't made a statue in a little while. Rest assured, I have made all of the Avengers. I'll probably be showing you how to make Nick Fury after this, as I said, kicking it off easy. But don't worry, you will be seeing the rest of them in probably not too long a time. All that being said, if you want to make her, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool, dark grey, light grey, white, brown, yellow, and finally red wool. We'll need a few more colours later on when we get to the head, but we'll grab those as we need them. So once you've got your colours and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start out with 8 black wool blocks in a row on the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is going to be the foundation of our Black Widow. Okay. So once you've done your row of 8, you're going to want to stack 2 more rows of 8 on top, with your black of course, giving you 3 rows of 8 black wool. What you're then going to want to do, on top of the next row, you're going to want to place a single dark grey on each end, 2 dark grey in the middle, leaving 2 either side, and then you're just going to want to fill in those 2 gaps with black. What you want to do for the next row is take out your light grey, place a single light grey on each end, fill the rest of the space in with dark grey. What you then want to do for the next row, very similar to the previous, place a single light grey on each end, place 2 black in the middle, and then fill the rest of the row in with dark grey. What you then want to do is for the next row, it just wants to be completely black. And let me just show you what we have so far. That's what you're going to want to have. Very simple pattern. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can continue on. So the next row, you just want to place 2 black wool in the 2 center spots, and then you just want to fill the rest of the row in with dark grey. The next row just wants to be entirely black again, so fill in the row with black. The next row, you want to, again, 2 black in the middle, dark grey everywhere else. Next row, you're going to want to place 2 black in the middle, a single light grey on each end, and then dark grey everywhere else. Next row, you're going to want to place 2 dark grey in the middle, a single black each side, and then the rest of the row filled in with dark grey. And let me just show you what you have so far. And as a matter of fact, I'll show you this top part first. Pause that if necessary, and let me show you the whole thing, because that is the entire leg section finished for our Black Widow, so pause that if necessary, make sure you've done that right, and once you've done that, we can move on to the torso. Alright, so moving back up to the top of the legs, the first row of the torso wants to be a copy of the row just below it, so you're just going to want to copy what you have on the row previous. 2 dark grey in the middle, black either side, dark grey everywhere else, giving you something which should look like that. Then, the next row wants to be 2 black in the 2 center spots, brown either side, and yellow everywhere else. Next row is very simple, you just want to place a single white wool on each end of the row, and yellow everywhere else. Next row, a little more complicated, you're going to want to place a single red wool on the left center spot, yellow on the right center spot, dark grey either side of the 2 center spots, and yellow everywhere else. Next row, you're going to want to place 2 yellow in the 2 center spots, a dark grey either side, black everywhere else. Giving you something which should look like that. Next row, you're going to want to, again, this is going to be a little trickier, a black on the left center spot, dark grey on the right center spot, dark grey either side of that, black everywhere else. Next row, very simple, just wants to be completely black. And let me just show you what you want to have so far since we finished the utility belt and we're halfway up the torso. At least I think it's a utility belt, it looks like one. So that's what you want to have so far. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move up to the chest. So continuing on. Next row, after the row of full black, you just want to place 2 black in the 2 center spots, dark grey either side of that, like so. Next row wants to be 2 black in the center, 2 light grey coming out from the center, coming towards the sides, and then dark grey on each end, like that. Next row, things are getting trickier now. Next row, you're going to want to, and I don't know why I'm starting to build it from the center instead of like from left to right or coming in towards the center. I don't know. These things happen. So continuing on anyway, you're going to want to place 2 black in the center, a single black wool either side of a single dark grey either side of the black, light grey, continuing going out towards the end, and then dark grey once again on the end of the row. Then, for the next row, getting easier again, you're just going to want to place black in the center, dark grey everywhere else. Next row, the 4 middle blocks want to be black. So, the 2 center ones, and quite simply, the blocks either side of the center. Then, the rest of the row just wants to be, if I can place them, dark grey, giving you something which should look like that. And that's the top half of the torso, and I'm showing you this because that is the torso completed. So that's the top half. This is the, just about, that is the whole torso together. And let me show you what you should have all together so far. That's what you want to have. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move on to the arms. Alright, so moving on to the arms. The arms begin where the torso does, and as you may remember, it is this row right here that sits just beneath the Batman utility belt. So, starting from this grey row here, you're going to want to extend out this row with this little sequence of blocks. You're going to want to do 2 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, and you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side as well, or maybe not. I like building the first row of the hands together. I don't know why. So that's what you're going to want to have. And I'm going to start this off with the left arm. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I always go right arm. Today we're going left. So moving over to the left side here, and I like to build these from outwards to in, and I just like to call out the colours. So on top of the next row, you're just going to want to do 1 black, 1 brown, 1 black, 1 brown. Next row, you're going to want to do 1 brown, 1 yellow, 1 brown, 1 yellow. Next row, just copy the previous. So, brown, yellow, brown, yellow. Next row, black, dark grey, black, dark grey. Next row is quite simply dark grey. And let me just show you what you want to have for the arm so far. Pause that if necessary. Next row is 1 dark grey, 1 light grey, 2 dark grey. You then want to copy that row 3 more times. So I'm just going to stack this up on top of the light grey. 1, 2, 3. Then fill in around it, giving you that. So you just want to have that row in total 4 times, which is just dark grey, light grey, dark grey, dark grey, 4 times. And then on top of that, you just want to do 2 rows of dark grey, bringing us up to the shoulder and giving us something which should look like that. That looks a little flat at the moment, but later on, once we've finished the head, once we're adding in the finishing touches, we're going to be making that a little bit more interesting. So that is the left arm. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you can move over to the right arm, and the right arm is pretty much just a mirror image of that one right there. So I'm going to be doing this ever so slightly quicker, but still calling out the colours and such. So again, starting from outwards going in, you're going to want to do 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey. Next row, dark grey, yellow, dark grey, yellow. My apologies, brown, yellow, brown, yellow. Next row, just a copy of that, so brown, yellow, yellow. Next row, black, dark grey, black, dark grey. Next row, just completely dark grey. Let me just show you what you want to have there. There you go. Pause that if necessary, but of course, you've got the other arm to look at as well. Continuing on, just going to want to do dark grey, light grey, dark grey, dark grey. You're then going to want to copy that row 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. Then dark grey everywhere else, like so. Then you're just going to want to do the last 2 rows in dark grey to give you something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Let me show you what the whole torso looks like together with the arms. There you go. Pause that if necessary. Make sure that's what you have. And once you've done that, just giving you a very quick pan out view of what you want to have so far. And once you've done that, we can make the statue a little more interesting by actually making it a statue. We're going to turn this 3D. So once you are at this point, you're going to want to come to the bottom of your statue, take a little sideways on view like this, and you're going to want to extend the statue back by each end of the feet. So right here, extend it back by 3 rows with your black wool. So 1, 2, 3. And the other side as well. 1, 2, 3. You're then going to want to connect those 2 rows that you should have just made, coming back by 3, each end of the foot, or each end of the feet, feet, whichever one makes sense. You guys can figure that out for me. You're just going to want to connect those 2 rows together at the back to give you something which should look like that. And just like a haircut, I like to do statues like this. I like to do the front, back, sides, and then work a little bit on top. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Just how we've built up the front there, we're going to be doing the exact same thing on the back, and then we'll mess about with the sides. So the only row that you have to concern yourself with until a little later on is this back row that we've built here, which is going to be the back of Black Widow's shoes. So continuing on, what you're going to want to do, similar to what we have on the front there, is you're going to want to stack 2 more rows of black on top of the original row of black of the feet. So you're going to want to have that. Next row, very simple. You're just going to want to have 2 black in the center, dark grey everywhere else. Next row, simple again, but ever so slightly more complicated than the previous. 2 black in the center, dark grey either side, light grey either side of that, and then dark grey to finish it off. Next row, black in the center, dark grey everywhere else. Next row wants to be completely black, and I believe that that is just about the halfway point, if not the halfway point, maybe a little over it. That's what you want to have so far for the back of the legs. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can continue on. And similar to what we've got on the front here, although it is ever so slightly different, the next row wants to be black and dark grey. I said that a little wrong. I should have black in the center, dark grey everywhere else, but you guys have eyes, so that's what you want to have for that row. Next row wants to be completely black. Row after that, 2 black in the center, dark grey everywhere else. Next row, completely dark grey. And this next row is going to be the final row of the back of the legs, and you're going to want to do 2 dark grey in the center, 2 light grey either side of that coming out towards the sides, and a single black wool on each end, giving you something which should look like that. And I'm showing you the top half first, and then I'll show you it all together. So that is the top half of the back of the legs. Pause that if necessary, of course. And that is the whole back of the legs. I'm trying to... There you go. That is probably the best view of the back of the legs that I can get you, so pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can start working our way up the back. So coming back up to the top of the legs, and the first row of the back is quite simply this. You're going to want to fill in the 4 middle blocks with dark grey, and then the rest of the row just wants to be black. Then, the next row is the start of the Batman utility belt, and we're going to make it from left to right because it's a little wonky, it's not symmetrical. So, going from left to right, you're going to want to do 2 yellow, 1 brown, 2 yellow, 1 brown, 1 yellow, 1 brown, to give you something that should look like that. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose is of that extra brown on the right side. Maybe it's supposed to be a pocket or something. If I had designed this skin, it'd be symmetrical. So, once you've done that, next row, extremely easy, is just yellow. Oops, there we go, it's just a whole row of yellow. The row after that, slightly trickier. 2 middle blocks want to be yellow. Either side of that, place a black wool, and then fill in the rest of the row with yellow. You know, if you added in a little bit of yellow on top here and down there for like legs and ears, and if you replace that brown wool with yellow, it kind of does look like a bat, or at least it does to me. That might just, it's probably me. I'm getting a little off topic, let's continue. So the next row, getting slightly trickier here. 2 middle blocks want to be grey. Either side of that want to be black. Then dark grey again, coming towards the ends of the row. And finally, just black to finish it all off. Next row, you're going to want to do 2 dark grey in the middle, 2 light grey either side of the dark grey, and then you just want to copy the previous row, in which you just want to do a dark grey and then a black to finish it off. And then, what you're going to want to do for the next row, this is where the hair starts. Black Widow's hair tapers down her back. It sits about the middle of her back, just in case you're curious what the red's going to be. So next row, you're just going to want to do 2 dark grey in the middle, a single red either side, and then dark grey either side that, and then finally black to finish off the row. And let me just show you what you should have so far, since we are halfway up the back at the moment. So that's what you want to have. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can continue on. So the next row after that, this is the trickiest row for the hair, and that's why I'm going to be making it from left to right. You're going to want to do 2 dark grey, 1 red, 1 dark grey, 2 red, and 2 dark grey. Then, for the next row, very easy, single dark grey on each end, everything in between wants to be red. And then finally, the final 3 rows, if my math is correct, which it seems to be, final 3 rows are just quite simply red wool. So, let me just add those in. And once you have done that, you will have the entire back completo. So that is the upper back, pause that if necessary. And of course, the whole back all together, pause that if necessary. Let me just zoom out to the whole thing, just so that you can see what it should look like. Alright, so that's the back of the statue. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move on to the back of the arms. The back of the arms are very similar to their front counterparts, however there's a couple of key differences. So, coming over to this left side here, and the back of the arms, as you might imagine, are in line with the front of the arms. And we're just going to extend out from the back here, just as we did on the front. So starting out from this block right here, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do 1 black, 1 dark grey, 2 black. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side as well. I don't know why. I like building the first row of the hands, arms together. I don't know why it is. So on the other side as well. 1 black, 1 dark grey, 2 black. And I think we're going to start on the right arm this time. Or the right side, I should say, since technically the right arm is that one. But it's all perspective. But we're starting on this side anyway. Instead of calling out a side, it's just this one. This one I'm looking at. So coming over to here, and again, just as I did with the front, I'm just going to be calling out colours, working from outwards to in, because it's quite easy. There's only 4 blocks to deal with. So the row on top of the initial row here, you're going to want to do 1 brown, 1 black, 1 brown, 1 black. Next row, you're going to want to do brown, yellow, brown, yellow. The next row after that is just a repeat, so brown, yellow, brown, yellow. The row on top of that, you're going to want to do 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black. The row on top of that just wants to be dark grey. The next row, you're going to want to do 1 dark grey, 1 light grey, 2 dark grey. The row on top of that is just a repeat of the previous, so 1 dark grey, 1 light, 2 dark. And then every row after that is quite simply dark grey wool. So you're just going to want to do is that 4 rows of dark grey until you hit the top of the shoulder, which will give you something that looks like that. So that's the entire back of the arm. Very simple. You may note the differences between the front and the back. They are similar, but there's just a couple of things different. So pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can just do the other arm, and just like I did on the front, this is going to be ever so slightly faster. However, I am going to be doing the same thing as I did on the other arm. So 1 brown, 1 black, 1 brown, 1 black. Next row, 1 brown, 1 yellow, 1 brown, 1 yellow. Next row is pretty much the same, so 1 brown, 1 yellow, 1 brown, 1 yellow. Row after that, dark grey, black, dark grey, black. I kind of stuttered there because I wondered where my colour went. I went the wrong way on the quick cycle thingy. So continuing on, next row is entirely dark grey. Row after that, one dark grey, one light grey, two dark grey. Row after that is just a copy, so dark grey, light grey, dark grey. And then every single row after that is just dark grey, so that should be 4 rows until we hit the top of the shoulder to give us something which should look a little like that. I'm showing you both arms together done because just as with the front, both arms are just a mirror image of each other. If you manage one, you will manage the other. So pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, and furthermore I'll show you the whole back of the statue. Once you've done that, we can work our way over to the sides of the statue. So I'm not sure if I said it, but I'm going to say it again. I say this quite often. I kind of like automatically do it now. I kind of just, whenever I move out and just pause for a second, I automatically say pause that if necessary. So I kind of forget whether I say it or not, but pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move on to the side of the statue. And I'm going to be starting on this side right here. Again, I'm not going to call out which side it is because it's all perspective, but this side, this one I'm looking at. Side of the statue is very easy to do. I'm going to be building it in 2 columns. This left one here, and then this right one, and we're just going to be building straight up. So, starting from this left column, you're just going to want to do 2 black, 3 dark grey, and then the rest wants to be black, right up to the top of the side of the leg. So, you're going to want to do that. I did that kind of slow because my monitor's a little dark, but essentially it's just 2 black, 3 dark grey, rest black. So you want to do that. Then on the right hand side, slightly different, you're going to want to do 2 black, 2 dark grey, 3 black, 1, 2, 3, and then the rest wants to be dark grey coming up to the top of the leg to give you something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can work our way up to the arm. So first thing you're going to want to do here is fill in the under part of the hand with black. And in doing that, you'll also form the first row of the side of the arm, which just obviously wants to be black. So you just want to do that. And we're going to be doing the same thing that we've done just below us. We're going to be working on the left row going up and then the right row going up. So first things first, on the left row, just calling out the colours again, you're going to want to do 1 black, 2 yellow, 5 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 light grey, and then 1 dark grey to give you that. Of course, pause where necessary. Then for the next row, you're going to want to do 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, and then the rest just wants to be dark grey. Then to fill in the top of the shoulder, you just want to do dark grey, and you only have to come in by 3 rows, so just like to the edge of the hair here, because the head will take care of the rest, just to make sure that the statue is airtight, and as I said, just do dark grey. So let me show you the whole side of the arm there. So there you go, and just in case, I'm going to show you the whole side of the statue. There you go. Alright, so that's what you want for that side of the statue, so pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you can work your way over to the other side, and this side of the statue is going to be significantly easier than that side of the statue, because all you have to do to complete this side is just look directly ahead and copy what you have on that side. That's right, this statue is symmetrical, so what you have to do, quite literally, just copy what you have on that side. I don't even have a picture of this side of the statue, I'm just looking forward and just copying what I have, and you should do the exact same thing. So just as easy as that. Those are the legs done. Pause that if necessary. You'll notice that this side is exactly the same as the other side. If you run into any problems, all you have to do is quite simply just run over to the other side, have a look at what you've done, remember, come over here and apply what you have, just in case the looking forward tactic doesn't work for you. So moving up to the arms now, just like we did on the other side, just fill in the bottom of the hands with black like that. Then working on the right hand column again, the column closest to the back. Since that isn't entirely, you know what, I take it back, that is entirely obvious. All you have to do is still look forward, but still calling it out, column closest to the back, this right one here. 1 black, 2 yellow, 5 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 light grey, 1 dark grey. This row, very easy, 3 brown, rest of it is dark grey, and then all you have to do is fill in the top of the shoulder. Only have to come in by 3 just so it lines up with the hair there. It doesn't really matter if you come in like, I don't know, 4 or 5, it only matters if you come in 2. Just for the sake of keeping the statue airtight, making sure that there's no holes or anything like that. So I'll just show you the side of the statue just in case you want it. Alright, so pause that if necessary, and once you've done that, you kind of move on to the head of the statue, since we're about 90% done at this point. Done the front, back and sides, the haircut method never fails. So first things first, we're going to need us some new colours. We're getting nicer ones. So you're going to want to grab sandstone, nether brick, this is going to be in such a random order, brown, yellow, white, pink, and you'll also need red and light blue. Yep, that's a pretty weird order, but you need all of those colours. So once you've got those, we can go to work on the head. So the head is positioned on top of the body, would you believe? And it is on top of the original 8 blocks that we started working with. So you're just going to want to, once you're at this point, once you've grabbed all of the colours, you're just going to want to do a row of 8 sandstone on top of the blocks of the torso, like so. You're then going to extend out that row that you've just made towards you by 2 rows. So it just wants to overhang the front of the body by 2 rows, like that. And now we're going to work on making the face. So we're only going to be focusing on this most outward row right here. So what you're going to want to do for the next row on top of this most outward row, you're going to want to fill in the 2 middle blocks with pink. Then the rest of the row wants to be in sandstone. The row after that is quite simply sandstone. The row after that is slightly trickier. What you want to do for the 4th row is place 2 sandstone in the middle, light blue either side, white either side of the light blue, and finally just nether brick to finish it all off. Then, for the next row, you're going to want to place sandstone in the 2 middle spots, then 2 nether brick on top of the light blue and white of the previous row to form some eyebrows, lovely looking eyebrows, and then to finish up the row, you're just going to want to place a single red on each end, like that. Kinda looks angry with just the 5 rows of a face. We've got to improve this situation. So for the next row, and we're going to be making the next row left to right just because it will be easiest for me, you're just going to want to do 1 red, 3 sandstone, rest red. Row after that, again left to right, 2 red, 2 sandstone, rest red. And finally, for the 8th and final row, is just going to be completely red to give us something which should look like that. And that is the entire face completo. There is nothing more to it. So, alright, so pause that if necessary. That's all you want for the face. And once you're done with that, we can move on to the rest of the head. The rest of the head is going to be very easy because it's quite simply red. So, continuing on, you're going to want to come to the back of this original row of sandstone that forms the front of the face, and you're going to, with your red wool, just extend this row of sandstone over the back of the statue until it overhangs the back of the statue by 2 rows. So that would be 2 rows. So similar to what you have on the front with sandstone, you want the same on the back, just with red. And the rest of the head, as I've said, is quite simply red. Dropping mad rhymes, Dr. Seuss in it all up in here. So whichever way you want to accomplish that, if you want to use my method and just make it into a giant shape and fill it in, you do that, or you do however, but this is how I do it. I make it into a giant cube, and then I just fill in each of the faces individually. I don't know why, that's how I like doing it. But you go nuts, you do whatever you want, so I'm just going to be filling these in. I'm not going to cut this out, I'm going to leave this in here. Why not? Why not? May as well. I don't think it really serves... You know what? I was going to say it serves no purpose me cutting out, although it serves no purpose me leaving it in either. But, you know, whatever. It makes the video slightly longer. If you want, just skip past this. It's all up to you, of course. You do whatever you want to do. After we've done this, we actually have very little to do. We do have a little bit, but It's not too much, just have to raise up a couple of points on the statue. It's going to be really easy, so just filling in the head. There we go. It's not getting dark, is it? Is it my imagination? Yep, my imagination, never mind, I thought it was getting darkest. I was going to say, I only just slept, so that's the head. It really is just the face, to be honest with you, and then everything else is just red. So pause that if necessary. If you need to catch up, you do that, but for those of you that are in sync with me, in sync, instantly just thought of Justin Timberlake, in sync with me, we're going to be continuing on. So first thing you're going to want to do is come to the back of the statue, the upper back of the statue, and where we have red here, like the hair flowing down, you're just going to want to raise that up by 1 block, just to make it a bit more 3D, make it a bit more lifelike as you can make Minecraft, which is not very so. You just want to do that, and then after you've done that, you're going to want to come to the front of your statue, and you can see these things that she has on her wrists, these brown things here. Well, you just want to raise those up by 1. I'm going to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what they are. I don't know whether they're supposed to be gloves, and I have just noted a mistake. I'll take care of that very shortly. So you just want to go all around the hands, raising up those brown wool there. The problem is, as I've just noticed on the side, these 2 blocks here that are brown should be yellow. Now, I didn't notice this looking at the front picture of the tutorial, because on the front, like the picture that I have of my statue, I have this brown in the way. I automatically assumed that it'd be brown underneath. Not the case. As I have a look at a sideways view of my statue, it turns out that these are yellow, but I couldn't tell because of the aforementioned picture, so if you're really that bothered, swap those 2 blocks out to be yellow. I don't seem to have made the mistake anywhere else. And do the same thing on the other side as well, so just raise up these 2 blocks with your brown wool. Knock those 2 out, replace that with yellow on this side as well. Place brown there. There you go, very easy. That's what you want on the front. That's what you want on the side. I'm not going to show you both sides. And that is what you want on the back. So let me just take off the hood and give you a nice 360-degree view of the statue because, gentlemen, ladies, we're finished. You know, I actually had a look at my analytics the other day, getting a little off topic as I give you a tour of Black Widow. Apparently, it is a pretty even split, about 50-50 male-female ratio. I refuse to believe that myself. There's got to be a solid, I don't know, at least 30% of you guys out there just claiming to be girls. I refuse to believe that it's that equal. Then again, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know about Minecraft. Maybe it's a more gender null game. So there you are. That is the Black Widow statue. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm not sure that I could have done that much better myself. I, of course, designed my DC characters. These are just from the skin pack, as I may have said in the intro. I don't know. It's kind of slipping my memory, but yeah, these are just copied from the skin pack. I was going to design them myself, but coincidence, Minecraft decided to release them. So yeah, there you go, that's Black Widow. I hope this was easy enough to follow. I hope it wasn't too slow. I'm trying to speed these things up a little bit. I hope it was easy enough to follow. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next tutorial. I'm going to be making all of the Avengers plus Nick Fury. Nick Fury's probably going to be next. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.